Good morning, everybody. You will probably, as you have seen, I have to stop. I took Racer out for a quick early ride this morning, which was really nice. It was still a bit dark, so the video will be a bit dark, but you know, don't mind. You would have also seen I added a quick sort of time lapse to the end of yesterday's video recording to show me weeding with the hoe and with among the potatoes here. Of course, obviously I missed some, so we do have some weeds, but thankfully not too many, and hopefully we don't get any more, so we'll keep an eye on it. They could be ready to harvest later today or tomorrow possibly. Now, so changes, so this is a change, clearly. The setup I was trying to do yesterday, I couldn't get it to work, so I returned the one that I did have, which is similar to this, except it does a swath, because I was wanting to attach another piece of kit onto the back of it, but unfortunately it wouldn't attach, so, and even if it did, I wasn't entirely sure that it would work. So I thought, okay, what I'll do is return that piece of kit. I bought another piece of kit, which I've got over here. So this is my little tedder, which I wanted to attach to the back of one of these mods, but of course as you can see it's a 3-point link, and that's a trailer hitch. I could put a 3-point link on the front, but that wouldn't work either. So I've got a little bit more. It's like a front end of a butterfly mower, but it's just the front end because it's cheaper to buy it like this. It's all I can really afford. It's too expensive for me to buy the whole setup. But it does mean I can put that in the front of the tractor, that on the back of the tractor, and we can make hay for the horses. And we do have some now in, if I go into here, let's see now. Hey, yeah, we've just got over 6,700 litres loose. Of course, I don't currently have a baler. There is quite a cheap one in stores. Oh, look, they're going over quick. That I do hope to purchase at some point, but we will get to that. So, yeah, so I also had to buy something. So I kind of just drove around randomly. I didn't do an awful lot last night, and I think much of what I did do is growing back. You see a bit of a swath sort of coming through here, and yeah, so we did get enough hay in store. As I say, we needed something to pick it up. I wasn't going to do it by hand with a little bucket. And so we bought this, which is really cheap, but just over, I think it's around about $3,000, so it's the cheapest one on the market. I mean, it's quite an old one in terms of, you know, it's fairly, what's the word I'm looking for, you know, a simple design, so, but it's nice, I do like it. So that we got. I'm trying to think what else we did. So yeah, and of course we bought this trailer. The trailer's not expensive. I would like to buy one with a cover on it at some point, but you know, I think it's a couple of thousand for the trailer. This is probably the most expensive one. If you have a look in the shop under mowers, so this was the one I originally got, and you can see thankfully they're not too expensive. So I bought this one, and then I had to return it, and I went for this one. So this one here, this one bags it, which is fine if you're after this grass, but I'm not at the moment. This one leaves no trace of cut grass, which is basically what I've got for doing around the house, because I did do a swath around the house first of all, but it's actually, you've got to then pull the tractor and trailer around, and it's a bit tight. So yeah, I mean, I've still got all this grass here that I can easily mow around and cut. but I will probably extend that into my garden at some point, my garden into that eventually. So that was that. The other thing we did, and I did end up paying somebody to a company to come and do this for me yesterday. I did give it a bit of a hand, is this. This is going to be our new little farm shop area. And I got this because I'm going to put the potatoes in there and sell them direct from in here. And also, I've spoken to other local farmers and they're going to bring down stuff, and I'm going to buy in stuff to put in the shop as well. So that will hopefully be up and running within either later today or tomorrow. It just depends on when everything arrives, or at least if we even get potatoes first, then we'll go with the potatoes first. And it's more likely that we'll be doing the potatoes first because these are now ready to harvest. So what else? Oh yeah, talking about potatoes, I took away the potato box that was here. I sold it back again because I was speaking to one of the farmers yesterday evening after I'd finished up, and they were saying they're not very useful, they're not very good. And I did give it a go. He showed me what it was, and he said, look, I couldn't figure out how to tip it. So I could get potatoes into it, but I couldn't get the potatoes out, and I could fill, he says you'd be able to fill it with silo, but again, unless you've got some place that actually you can sell the boxes to, potato boxes too, it's no good. And I did try, he brought down some of those potatoes he had, we put them in the box, we did try them at the shop, but it just wouldn't work. So we're going to have to go back with our original plan. The other thing is, after speaking to him too, and I actually spoke to the previous owners of this area last night, is about these. And they were saying that there's no point in actually replacing these. They'll keep going for as long as I need them to keep going for. But I will have to lime them as they are. I mean, I'm still thinking that we'll see how it goes to harvest later, but I'm still thinking that I will probably try and sugar some of these over a bit. Move this one to this side and this one to that side and get a bit of space between them and get an equidistance. So what will happen is I'm just going to lime these directly, and they say it doesn't really knock them back. It says wait till after you've harvested them, not while the harvest is on them ready to be harvested. So once we've finished harvesting these, which will hopefully be today, we'll lime these and lime the red ones. I don't think any of these will be ready for liming yet, these two blocks. So yeah, and I'm also not entirely convinced that the fertiliser's having that much of an effect on the yield either. So that's something else I might think about, because the lime is, in the sense, it does give it a fertilised state, so it might just be that we just lime it. And of course, after you've harvested it, even for the new ones that we just put, they still need ploughing. It still comes up with a need ploughing, but then that's just the way it is. So there we go. So we've got a fairly busy day ahead of us today, and I've waffled for a bit. And we've also got normally I record for about 15 minutes to make sure we can fit everything in. So we're actually probably already down to about 35 minutes, including the horse footage that I took this morning when we were out riding, because even though it was dark, it was still quite bonny, and it was nice and quiet and peaceful. I'll try and find a nice piece of music to put on it. That's my standpipe. So, what are we going to do first? I think I'll do potatoes first, because then I can get them replanted as well, and then I can get on with harvesting the grapes. So, now I won't be putting all of these to the shop. I will be getting a sack of potatoes for myself to keep. So this is just not ideal because I don't have I mean, I have plans for what I want to be getting in the end. For now, we just work with what we've got. I will be buying a larger trailer today for the transporting of the grapes and stuff, I think. That was one thing I haven't yet done, but it's going to need doing so. So yeah, that's where we're at. The other thing I was thinking, because I was he's looking chilled out again today, is our racer. I did wonder if it's worth considering getting a second horse, and they might keep each other. Is that okay? That's okay. They might help keep each other company. Yeah, I know. And maybe he wouldn't be so stressed, but he does seem settled again just now. So for now, we'll just carry on, because if I get a second horse, it does mean that I've got to spend time each day taking them both out for a ride, and that time I don't really have a lot of. Again, I thought though, if I get a second horse, it would be one that I would be keeping just for myself, and that would become my horse, so to speak. Maybe at a later date, once the farm's a bit more, making a bit more money, and I've started to be able to pay off some of my loan, then at that point I'll oh yeah, speaking of money, guess what? You might have noticed that the tax person came around, so the tax people have been around and slapped us down because I went over 100 grand in earnings almost. So yeah, that's it. We're stuck with that now. So that wasn't quite what I was intending to do, although. Right, let's see if I've pushed the right buttons. We'll find out in a minute. So here we go, potato harvest. This is very slow. I mean, this little gadget, and it won't be straight, so I'll probably have to come back over it. There we go. Oh, definitely not straight. Yeah, 2 miles an hour is all this little gadget goes at, but it's fine for a plot of this size. Ooh, tight corner. For a small gadget, it's not the easiest thing to turn with. Let's see if I can do a better job coming down this too. In theory, I should be able to get two rows done if I steer it right. I did cut the grass around the edge here as well last night, just so that I could just to make it easier for when I'm picking up potatoes. If I drop any in the grass, they're easier for me to spot. Right, let me come up as that row is pretty much gone into the grass there. I can never remember what side it comes out, mostly because I've just started using it. It looks like it comes out on the right hand side. Yeah. So yeah, given all our new buys, etc., I think we're doing okay in terms of our finances. Of course, we'll continue to do contracts whenever we can. The other farmers seem more than happy with the work. No clue why, sometimes, but yeah, they seem to be fine. and quite happy to still have me take on contracts, so that's good. Now, there is, I mean, I could do this bit by hand. I think there is a fork you can use. I've never tried it, and I might one day have a go at it just to see, but I think it would just take too long. And I can't imagine it would be that easy, but I do like the idea that, you know, that it can be done. So I may just, maybe the next time finances permitting, I'll grab a hold of the fork and just to see how workable it is. I mean, it's not easy hoeing this by hand either, but you know. Right, there may still be some in there. I won't know until I clear up the potatoes and see the lines properly, because the potatoes are all over the place now. I do have a bucket somewhere. I don't think I've brought it out of here. Is it here? Oh, where is my bucket? I wouldn't have put it in the house, would I? I definitely have. I bought a bucket. I know I bought a bucket. It's not here. I thought I had it just in the garage here, but I'm not seeing it. I didn't bring it out, did I? No. Okay, hold on till I just double check. Oh, it might be that my bucket's gone missing. Oh, that's not good. I'm not seeing my bucket. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get a bucket from the shop. This isn't looking good at all. I definitely had a bucket. It was all set up and ready to go. And now I'm not seeing the bucket. Okay. Things have gone awry as they often do. I will be back in a little bit. Right, I don't know what happened with the bucket. Maybe I didn't buy a bucket, but we've just been up to stores and bought a bucket. So yeah, we have a bucket. So we can get on with this now. So one of the other things, again when I was speaking to the previous owner yesterday evening, they were saying too that, because they were asking me how I was getting on, and I said, yeah, it's fine. A bit bad weather. One day we didn't really get much done. We had to stop harvesting, and they were like, no, you don't. What the vines is one of those crops you can still harvest when it's raining. So that was good to know as well. I kind of feel a bit daft for not having asked these questions sooner. You know, that you know, yes, there is an argument to say, yeah, you should have asked these questions before you bought the farm, or at least soon after. But yeah, oh well, it is what it is. So that was good to know as well. So we will be. So rain will not stop us. I don't know if this is full. It's going quite high. Hold the bucket over my head. Right, okay, missed it. I'll just leave that there just now. So, I'm not putting this in the shop just yet. I'm just going to put it in here for now. Let's see, we're waiting for some other stuff to get delivered, and it hopefully will be some point today. and we can get the shop opened. I should switch that engine off, even though I'm only going to be another couple of minutes, but you know. Right. So this might take me a little while. You can basically see what I'm doing. So while I do this, it might be better to have a little music on in the background without my weird sound effects. Okay, that took a bit longer than I thought it would. So I'm thinking we'll get these sewn anyway, but I think that in terms of my time lapse, I'll just be selective time lapsing, because I think it'll be quite a long time lapse otherwise. Right, I attached the tractor over to here, but actually I still need the tractor to finish off the potatoes. I'm just getting ahead of myself a bit. I'll just leave that there, ready to rock and roll. So we'll plough it, lime it, fertilise it, sow it, fertilise it. It shouldn't take too long. And then we'll probably have to weed it again later today. Now, one thing I didn't say, probably should have, was the hole The hoe can only tackle weeds at the early stages, the first stages. So you can see this field here's poaching wee weeds at the moment. So the hoe could probably tackle that. Not that I would ever hoe a field this size, but at that stage anyway. So when the weeds are at that stage, the hoe can cope. Once the weeds were at the stage we saw this morning, the hoe doesn't work anymore, and so you either have to so that's when you need a sprayer, which as I say, I don't currently own one. I did think of looking at contracts, but I have a look at contracts just now, and there's a weeding contract, but that's just with a weeder, which is fine, as I say, for that stage, and that one's with a weeder. But you occasionally get weeding contracts, especially when the weeds are at the next stage, which will have the option of using a sprayer. But I don't know if it would, often if you're using contracted stuff, it won't let you use them on other fields, so yeah. Right, so that's that done. So I'm going to get the spreader. Another thing the sprayer can do, of course, is it can do herbicide and it can do fertilizer. Stunt growth and encourage growth both with one machine. This will have fertilizer in it, but I'll want to empty this out first because I prefer to put the lime on first. Here there, race it. Okay, this has got some lime. If anybody watching remembers Laurel and Hardy singing Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, if you did, please comment, because that song often goes around my head whilst on this map. And if you didn't, I would go and try and see if you can find it on YouTube, because it's quite a funny video to see as well. Siren somewhere in the background there. Weird around here. Okay. Fertilise. And then I'm going to have to go up to the shop and get a cultivator. Because I don't have one. I think I might just buy one because, as I say, it's relatively cheap. And we got some funds, so the cultivator, and I want a trailer, so I may just invest in both of these now. I know that stores have got them in stock. Let me just quickly we will cut back in a little bit. We'll go and get that equipment and we'll see you shortly. Okay, so here we are, £31,500 later. And we have a cultivator and a lovely new trailer. I was thinking when I was speaking earlier what I forgot to say, I think I started to say about the shop, that I had got a company in to pretty much do the bulk of the building work for me, because it had, you know, a few bits and pieces, and plus, you know, there's the equipment inside as well. And so all in all, cost me just about £5 to get that place, but it should start earning money back relatively quickly, I hope. So, and I meant to also have a look and see what we got in total for our potato harvest out this little bit of ground. I really am going to have to invest in sheds in it at some point, because of course I'm just dropping bits of equipment all over the place just at the moment because I haven't got anywhere to put them. But yeah, I was looking at some of the sheds and they're quite expensive. They're up into 50,000s for some of them. Anyway, potatoes. So yeah, I'll just get these in and get them fertilised, and then we'll stop for lunch. I think that delivery is going to be coming along soon as well, possibly. We'll be able to put, missed a bit. I'll just back this up here. See if I can get this bit. I think that's it. So, yeah, we might get the potatoes in the shop after lunchtime as well in that case. Once the other stock gets in. I've got a sack of potatoes in the garage for myself. I'm thinking if I need any, I could always, as long as there's still some in the shop, I could just pop out and grab some more. I can't remember how much the sack holds, but we've got from that little plot, just over 4,000 litres of potatoes, so I think that's not too bad a return at all on this. So yeah, and that's just the perfect size for the shop, perfect amount to get the shop up and running. I'm not going to check the market today because I just want to get them in, to get them going. So we'll go with whatever price we get. Just one last relapse up here, I think. There might be another gap there. I might try and do again. Doesn't look quite right here. Just come in a bit. Right, I think that should be it. Hopefully I'll just get some fertiliser on there, as we say, and then pop it for some lunch. Turn that off. And after lunch we will go on with harvesting some of the crops, but I gotta say, I don't think we've got a lot of time left anyway of this episode. So I think quick visit after lunch, I think, and then hopefully to get the potatoes in at least to the shop, all going well. Then I will get on with harvesting grapes. And if they've got a decent price when we're finished, I'll get them sold with our nice lovely new trailer. I'm just going to put this little bit of track in here, took the grass out here just to get this a bit of track in here so that I can oh, I probably should open the door the other side. Right, we'll see you in a bit, and hopefully I'll get the shop up and running. Bye for now. Okay, so the time's run away from us a bit. We did get the delivery we were expecting. It just took a bit longer to get everything in there and sorted out. We've just got potatoes to add now, so we're off to get our trailer and potatoes. Get some potatoes in the shop, and then I'll let you have a look in it. And I think after that, though, we'll probably be done with our recording for today. Possibly. I'm glad to see that's potatoes and not weeds. It's popped up quite quickly over lunchtime now. Right. Corn and potatoes, here we go. Doesn't look very much in the size of trailer, but you know. And I'm going to use that cultivator in the grass because it's almost the same colour. Stumbling across it in the dark. Oh, what have you got in here? Cotton. Oh, right, okay, so that's the cotton. Right, we're going to keep an eye on that as it grows up so you can see what that looks like. Cotton, though, is expensive, really expensively out. Although, in terms of what you get back on the crop, it's really good. We might actually try and get a contract on cotton because the contracts tend to be really good as well, so keep an eye on that one, and if we get a chance to harvest it we will. Okay, so we kind of get payment almost. So anyway, come into our shop, and here we are, and here's some of our potatoes in here. One of the farmers has supplied us some milk to sell. We will maybe get some dairy cattle of ourselves one day, but I'm not quite sure. So of course I can't be here all the time, so people can come in, buy what they want, you know, they can write down what they've, you know, the cost to help them add it up, and just put the money in the honesty box. I'll lock it up at night. We've got some eggs and cheese. Pretty much this is all local produce that the farms do, and you know, some of them do actually do some of the stuff. Can't read much of the writing on there, so you just have to guess what it is. But it's pasta, and it looks like some juice. This could be wine here, I would think. Various sort of sauces and stuff that some of the farms do. So yeah. Oh, rhubarb. Nice. I like a bit of rhubarb. So, I mean, they'll get the money from their produce direct back to them. I'll get a little bit of, you know, because I put the shop here, I get a little bit of the profits. The camera up there, just to get the camera to make sure that help keep people honest. Yeah. And there's a sort of cable up there for, you know, electrics, but we are all up and running. The lights are on. I'll leave the door open so that people can see we're open, and they can pop in and out as they need to, so it's all good. So, I think I just switched the engine off. So I would reckon that's about it for today. If I can add a little bit extra in, and or maybe the odd screenshots when I'm editing it, I will do. It's going to all depend on what I decide to do for when I was harvesting potatoes, of how much of that footage I've put in. So you might get a little bit of footage. If I do add additional footage, I'm quite likely will just time lapse it, and then that way you can just put a bit of music on and you don't have to listen to any more of my waffle for today. So I'll say to thanks everybody who've watched it, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll try and stop saying so it's really bad. You don't realise how bad it is until I'm actually editing these back, and then I think, stop it, stop it, stop it. Very quickly actually, I put in this toolbox thing here. I had another one in and it didn't work with anything, to be honest with you. So I've put this one down. It works with the tractor and all the other equipment. It does not work with my grape harvester, and I don't know if that's because of the height, and so I have to take it to a specialist up at the garage, up at the shop, the garage area there to get it maintained, which is a bit of a pain really, but anyway, let's get on with this. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you all again some other time. Bye for now.